Cowards! Yes, indeed. Welcome to Brink on Second Thought. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm actually going to be honest, I'm surprised that I played Brink as much as I did over the weekend. I'd be curious to know if any of you guys actually picked it up, and if you've been playing it, what your thoughts are. Feel free, leave a comment down below. I will read them. I will reply if you ask me something. The Brink at first glance video was actually surprising to me. I do those live. They're on the spot recordings for first impressions, so it can actually gauge my opinion of it. And I wasn't expecting the bugged map that had no sound, and it was quite interesting for that to be thrown in there. It really tested me, and I'm glad I did to some extent. I know it was a little bit messy, but I think people deserve to see that kind of thing. And it's also a great test for me personally to try and keep going when something unexpected like that happens. So, with that being said, let's actually have a little bit of another look at Brink and see if there's anything else that really came to my mind over the weekend while playing it. The AI in the game was something that I complained about first time round. Still have to say that, yeah, it's dumb as bricks. Terribly, terribly dumb as bricks. But it's not something I'm going to fault splash damage for. I mean, they shouldn't be lynched for it, because I can't think of any FPS off the top of my head that has decent AI in it. If you can think of any, let me know, because at the moment I'm drawing a blank on that one. But one of the things that does make up for the poor AI is what is being dubbed mingle player. The fact that players can jump in and join your single player and your challenges and help you out and replace the AI in them. Now, while I think this is a great concept, in theory, unfortunately I tried this over the weekend with a few friends, and I wasn't able to join any of their games, and they weren't able to join any of mine, which really does disappoint me. I mean, it's a really great concept, the mingle player, being able to jump in and out of your friends' games and help them out and go and do the single player together. That's great, but it being too bugged to actually enable you to get into the game and help your friends, that's a real kick in the pants for me. I had to go and open ports and try all these different techniques, and none of them actually worked. It would just be so great for once for a big title like this to actually get the multiplayer functionality when it comes to connecting to your friends spot on, and not have to have you opening ports and not having to have you making firewall exceptions, because it does it all for you. That would be fantastic. The objective-based multiplayer style is something that I really love. Jumping into this and playing with some friends online when we could actually all get on the same server was fantastic. Being able to put our teamwork towards something rather than just shooting guys in the face. I play Call of Duty a fair amount, but one of the things that annoys me about it is that I will normally jump into it and Rambo. There is no purpose for working towards a team most of the time. I'll play solo and I'll play team deathmatch, but the other modes don't really appeal to me much. Now, enemy territory Quake Wars was something I played a lot of in the very short amount of time that I was able to play it. As I mentioned in the last video, most of the guys I know stopped playing it after a week. I didn't play Wolfenstein, but splash damage really hit the nail on the head with the objective-based team play, in my opinion. I mean, there's a purpose for working with your team. You get more XP for helping them out, giving them ammo, not being a dick. And that's fantastic. It really does try and bring the team together. Of course, it doesn't work all the time, depending on who you're playing with, and it can lead to some pretty disastrous matches. But at the same time, it's perfect in what it does. It's a shooter that has more depth to it than just shoot a guy. You have to take objectives, you have to hold them, you have to hack things, you have to blow up things. Each class has its own strengths and weaknesses. Each class is used for different objectives. And that's wonderful, because you don't see everyone just switch to one class and play it. Each class is solidly represented on a server. Each class is there helping everyone else out, throwing down turrets, giving ammo, giving health packs, throwing out all their buffs. It's great. And I really have to commend Splash Damage for keeping that tradition going. It was something that was really strong in Quake Wars, and I loved it. And it's something that's really strong in this, and I'm really enjoying it. However, that being said, the bugs are still there. It's only been a few days, and I know they'll get fixed. But they're just too many at the moment in my eyes. Now, the bugged map that I hit during At First Glance, I haven't hit that map again, which leads me to think that they've actually removed it from the map cycle at the moment. And they did throw out a patch as well on Friday, fixing a few issues and fixing some lag, which is great. But the bugs, graphics-wise, are still there for me. I had issues where players' names would go a bit glitchy, and textures would look a little bit funny. They're not gigantic bugs, they're not game-breaking bugs, they're just minor annoyances. Little bits of polish lacking here and there, which Splash Damage, credit to them, they have admitted that, you know, they are going to try and make amends for all of the issues that they've had with the game. They are offering their first DLC pack for free, which I think is fantastic of them. And they do know these issues exist, and they are trying to fix them. Now, yes, I know some of you are going to be screaming that the issues shouldn't be there in the first place, and part of me has to agree with that. I would like to see a game that's released and is actually, you know, a full game and is decent without any bugs. But until you've really worked for a company like this and you've gone through a big release on multiple platforms and your game hasn't had any bugs at release, I think you should cut them a little slack. Until you've done it yourself, you really shouldn't, you know, push these guys and complain too much. They are working hard to fix their game. They are working hard to appease the community, and that's something that really is great in my opinion. And I have to admit, Brink, when it's fully polished, I believe it will have a solid place in my list. It's already got one to some extent now. I do keep jumping in there. I played some earlier, I played some last night. I lost track of time last night and played it for about 3 AM, which was something that I wasn't expecting to actually happen. It's really the sign of a great game if it's able to suck you in to an extent that you lose track of time completely. Now, before I end this video, one of the other things that I just want to draw attention to is the smart system, the smooth movement across random terrain, which Brink picked up before the game came out. They showed the parkour videos of comparing real life and Brink and some other videos, and I was a little bit worried that the smart system that they were bringing in was going to be a gimmick and the game was going to be focused truly around this system and everything else was going to take a back seat. It actually turns out that it's the other way round. The game is all about the shooter, all about the objective based, and the smart system is there to complement it. And something I actually put in the written article for At First Glance was commenting about how I believe they should have left the light unlocked at the start of the game rather than the medium to truly let the smart system shine. While I still am holding that opinion, and I believe they should have, I don't think it's that important anymore. The smart system is a secondary in this game. It's useful for getting around, but it's not what the game truly relies on. It relies on the classes, their abilities, the objectives, and the smart system is just there to enable you to get those done. And I think that's the way a system like this should be. I don't think a system like this should take up too much of the spotlight, because at the end of the day, if it did, then the rest of the gameplay would be lacking, and unless the rest of the gameplay is solid, then the game would live a very short life once the system gets boring. With the smart system taking a secondary and the main focus being about the actual gameplay itself, that's how it should be, and that's what works, and I believe that's what's going to keep Brink living longer than it would if the smart system took up more of the spotlight. Now, I'm not sure how long I'll be playing Brink for. I'm not sure how long it will take for the bugs to be fixed, and I'm honestly not sure if something better is going to come along. But if you're looking for something that's different from the norm of Call of Duty and Halo, and you're looking for a shooter that does require a bit more team play and is more objective based, take a look at Brink. Yes, it's still buggy. Yes, it's lacking polish in a few places. But these are things that will be fixed, and knowing splash damage, they'll be fixed quite quickly. I have faith in them, and I know for sure that I'll be sticking with this game because this is what I like in my shooters. I like having a sense of purpose, and Brink really does this well. Splash damage really know how to do this well, and so it's something that I will definitely be keeping my eye on for the short future. Not too sure about the long future. As I said, it really does depend on how quickly they get the bug fixes out. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the video there. I hope you have a great week. Whatever you're playing, I hope you enjoy it. If you have any recommendations of what I should have a look at, or anything you think that I might be interested in seeing that's coming out soon, drop me a comment, drop me a message, whatever you like. I'll take a look, I'll reply. And for now, I'll leave you with the ending footage of this multiplayer map, as you've been watching it for the video, so you might as well see what actually happens when you complete or fail the level. Enjoy.
I'm in disguise. 30 seconds. Enemy spotted. Here's a revive syringe. 10 seconds. I'm scrubbing this mission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Multiple enemies. What the hell is it still launching? Citron!
Ran out of time, sir. Best we could do was hack the self-destruct, but don't worry. It'll explode harmlessly out over the sea.
Damn it, Seahawk 3, get out of there!
We're going down! We're going down! We're